Good morning, Year 7. Welcome to week 2. It's now Tuesday, the 28th of April, and I look forward to seeing you today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and if you have any questions, don't forget to message me in our teams, or you can send me an email. Please find following an explanation for this week's lessons. Good morning, Year 7 English with Mrs. Dobson. It is now week 2, and it's Tuesday, the 28th of April. Here are your instructions for week 2. So we're going to start off with a bit of wild writing today. You'll head over to your wild writing stimulus here on your home page, and today it will be the robot. This is the full picture. It is called The Visitor. Take 5 minutes to do some wild writing, focusing on your adjectives, describing words, and your punctuation, full stops, capital letters. Remember to write for the full minutes. Describe the picture if you have trouble. Once you've completed your 5 minutes, head back to the Year 7 English page. This week you'll need to scroll down to the course outline, which is where you find your weekly tasks, right here. When you get to course outline, go down to Wolf Brother. This will then take us to the activities for week 2. You'll see a black and white picture of the wolves from the novel. Then you head down to weekly tasks. You'll click on Week 2 Tasks. This week, you'll need to make sure you've got your English book, your novel, and your device. Remember to log on to Microsoft Teams in our class times for further deconstruction and explanation. This week, you should have read up to and including Chapter 16 of your novel Wolf Brother. We will be reviewing. Set in the Stone Age, Wolf Brother, it reveals life in the early times, so it's in BC on our historical timeline. You're going to watch this live video of Michelle Paver explaining the setting and where Turak lives. Please watch this now. Once you've finished the live YouTube with Michelle Paver, you can then answer the following question in your English book. Remember to date your work, Tuesday the 28th of April. The question is, what else is revealed to us by the author in this short clip about Turak and where he lives? Take some time to think through and answer, maybe even providing some evidence from the novel about where he lives and what it's like. This week, you'll also have Education Perfect set for you, which will be reminding you to log on. There's only 40 minutes per week, so make sure you spread it out, or you could do it all in one session. Make sure you're doing some daily reading of Wolf Brother. You'll also have the following comprehension questions underneath, and in today's lesson, Mrs. Dobson will revisit the answers from last week. You'll also have at the end of this week a monologue video sample. This is in order for you to understand the task that you're working towards for the end of Term 2. This is the comprehension questions for Activity 6, where you'll need to have read up to Chapter 12 to answer the questions. You'll then answer questions 1 to 6. Make sure you're answering in full sentences, using proper punctuation, and even evidence from the text if it helps you explain your answer. Then move on to Activity 7. This has questions 1 to 9 and further on. You'll need to have read to at least Chapter 16 in this part of the text to answer these questions. Again, make sure you answer in full sentences and use quotes from the novel in order to ensure you show your understanding of the book. This is to help you explain your answer. You'll then have some further questions up to question 8. Now, the task sheet will be issued this week, and we'll go through that in a later lesson and a separate video. However, for you to get an idea of what you'll be working towards this term, here is a snapshot of the actual task sheet. Your task is that you're inspired by the novel of Wolf Brother by Michelle Paver to write a monologue from the point of view of one of the characters in the novel. You will then make an oral presentation of your monologue in character by video recording your performance. Consider setting, costume, props, be as creative as possible, and consider outdoor settings for authenticity. It must not destroy the structure of the original text and should not introduce new events. Rather, you pick a moment from the novel and you provide insight from a particular character's perspective, maybe what they were thinking and feeling at the time that we didn't hear as a reader. This is called a gap or a silence in the text. You will be in role of a playwright because you'll be writing your script and then you'll actually be performing it. Your purpose is to entertain, inform, and engage your readers and viewers, and your audience is a person who is a reader of plays who enjoys historical fiction, including stories like Wolf Brother. The conditions: your task will be distributed this week. You'll initially have up until week 5 to complete a draft. You'll then get feedback and have to submit a final copy. The final copy will be due by week 7, term 2. Presentations will be uploaded to MyUnity by the end of week 7. Your length will be 300 to 400 words. Now here is the copy of the monologue video sample. This is a student from last year performing the script they wrote and enacting the script for the character that they wrote about. Make sure you have a look at how he uses his voice, how he projects, how he uses facial expression and gesture in order to set the scene and play the character. Once you've viewed the monologue, that should give you a better understanding of the task ahead. You don't need to get started yet, but as you're reading the novel, you might want to start thinking about it. You then will need to open the Creating a Monologue Word document here. Now, once you've opened that document, it'll explain a bit more about how to write a monologue and what a monologue is. That's all the instructions for this week. I look forward to talking to you soon. Mrs. Dobson.